What were your thoughts when you found out that you were nominated to be the Liberal representative for Milton?
I really felt humbled and proud at the same point in time because I've been living in the community over 11 years. It's a matter of pride for me to represent a community where I live, we work, our kids been kind of like growing out here as well. It's just the next step forward to make sure how we can pay back and contribute to a community who's given us so much.
Okay. Now, you're a successful business owner. I've seen you all over town doing, community events and things. What made you decide to throw your hat into the ring to get into federal politics?
I just found it firsthand that there's so many issues in the community with regards to the infrastructure, especially being part of the business and the growth of the town, moving thousands of families or helping them move in here. Recognize that people coming over with a vision and a dream for this particular community. They were attracted by the wonderful outdoors, great community and demographics and everything that it has. But at the same point in time, it was lacking infrastructure. Always we've been 5 years behind. And I found that there is no communication between the different levels of the government, especially the federal government, to kind of bring in the resources and the funds to a fastest growing town in Canada and maybe in North America. And we're not getting the fair treatment and commensurate treatment in terms of the support from the federal government. So that's why I chose to put my name in the hat, and I look forward to making sure we put Milton first. That's my new vision for the new Milton riding. Milton first.
And so let's talk about, you kind of mentioned locally, what is your goal? Let's say, what's your basic goals both locally and at the bigger picture, like federally?
Local level, I'm going to definitely focus on the local infrastructure pieces where the support is needed by the region and the town. In building all the infrastructure pieces, as we see, the roads and bridges are obviously not at par with the development and growth we have seen. The roads are getting clogged, getting difficult even getting out of the town. If there's an accident on the 401, everything's blocked within the town itself too. And now we're talking about the CN terminal coming into this town, which I'm going to definitely fight down to the core. I've been committed to do that. I announced as part of my announcement when I put my name in the hat as well. And one of the core reasons I was there that it's going to really break down the fabric of this town. I've seen the impacts of it in other communities, part of a business and otherwise, and you can see it like 1,500 trucks going through this town 24/7 is going to really break apart this town and its infrastructure, which is already lacking. So we need to make sure that we unite forces at all levels of the government. I met all the level of government leaders, including Mayor Krantz, Chair Gary Carr, even Justin Trudeau, to talk about this issue already. And we want to make sure that any changes that are needed legislatively, constitutionally, or even legal battle that is needed to put in front and even to motivate people at a local level are taken into consideration. And we want to make sure that this is the terminal that doesn't get built in Milton anywhere. And we want to make sure it is built, but somewhere else, where it is proper location. I'm not against CN at all, I'm not saying it. Railroad infrastructure is part of my platform as well. How to improve it to bring even convenience to the people to commute out of this town. Taking the GO train route, for example, like we have a CP train track, which is being used by the CP, but not given public facility to go all day service that is this much needed here. As you know, it's the second busiest line on the GO railway network. And we don't have the full day service. We have no express trains going out of this town. So it is not getting the fair treatment. Milton is being put as a foster child by the federal government, and I want to make sure it becomes a priority in Ottawa. And it is the fastest growing town and community. It does deserve that treatment, and I want to make sure that that voice of the public and myself living as a resident, we want to get that kind of resources that we pay as 50% of the taxes to the federal government to come and work for us here locally. That's not been seen. I haven't seen that happening. And that is what my number one motivation was, to make sure that our local counterparts, our regional counterparts, and even provincial counterparts get the fair treatment, get the transfer payments from the federal government. Our Prime Minister doesn't have a chance even for a year and a half to meet even the Premier. And you know what? That doesn't sound good, because it doesn't fit right with the economy, which is growing. The Ontario is the growth engine of this particular country. As we're depending on oil money, as we've seen the impact of it when things go down, that is not good business. And being part of the business, I can tell that we need to have the diversification in the economy. We need to have, obviously, evaluated services, evaluated industries thrive and survive here in this particular society and community. We shouldn't have the Targets and Lowe's and other big companies coming over here and getting disappointed and closing their stores in 2 years' time and going and wrapping up and go back. That's not good governance, that's not good business management. And we mean business when it comes to politics. We want to make sure that we have the good governance and good politics and a fair government. That is the plan of Justin Trudeau, and that's what I'm committed to. It's a real change we mean. We're not making just change in faces here. We want to bring in a change which is meaningful and have a positive impact on our community and our country. And that's what I'm committed to federally. And I would like to make sure the fairness is there in citizenship and immigration. The bill C-24, just that is virtually something which is totally against the Charter of Freedom and Rights, we want to make sure that that is repealed. We already discussed that. I had a discussion with Justin Trudeau. It's the first thing that's going to come down. We're going to repeal it once we come into government. And I'm totally committed to make sure that that change happens at federal level. That impacts everybody who's moving in as an immigrant in this community as well. And apart from that, infrastructure and citizen immigration services, I'm looking at definitely take into consideration the foreign relations, which are also not making us like it's downright against the values of our values and the defined principles in our foreign policy. We're not anymore the intermediaries. We're not the peacekeepers anymore. We want to make sure that we take that role back. And we want to make sure that that's the role we play, if we play, in the foreign politics and try to make a positive impact in the world. That's been the Canada's role, and that's what we want to bring it back once it comes to foreign relations. Plus talking about the US relations, and there's been talk about it, Justin Trudeau talked about it, and he's put a platform and also items together to make sure how we can engage US. It's definitely our neighboring country, and we want to make sure we create relations, but at the equal footing. We want to make sure that we trade freely, but at the same time we get benefits where we need to, while we give benefits to the other side of the world.
Okay, now if people want to get in contact with you, if they have any questions or they want to donate or whatever, how can people get in touch with you?
Got my website, azimrizvee.ca, azimrizvee.ca. I've got my email address there as well, info@azimrizvee.ca. You have my direct line in there, 647-889-3260. They can contact. We're definitely looking forward to do the fundraising. We want to make sure that we bring this Tory government down. We want to make sure there's a change in the government locally and federally, and every single hand is needed in the deck. And I'm looking forward to make sure I get all the support from the community, and that's what they had shown. In the nomination meeting, we had the highest turnout anywhere in Canada in terms of the percentage of people showing up in a holiday month, and in a month of Ramadan, where a lot of people even celebrating that. It is tremendous. The change is already there. It's just not just simply like further down. It's already here. We've proven it by engaging people over the years, that people showed their support and love for the change, not only for me. And I'm out there to make sure I commit myself fully and 100%. That's why I'm stepping down today, immediately, as a CEO of Minmax Realty, because I want to show my commitment, my focus, my dedication to this community, and the trust that they have put in myself. I want to make sure I reciprocate that. But at the same point in time, while I'm burning my boards, I'm not burning my bridges within the community. I'm going to still keep my contacts active. Anybody need any advice, I want to hear from them. I'm here. I want to make sure that they know it. I'm here because of them, and I'm here for them.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great.
Appreciate it.